about that. That is really weird. I don't know why it crashed, but we should be live again, crossing my fingers. I don't know. Because my session counter is not rolling. So we'll just have to pretend it works. I don't know what's going on today. Okay. Try one. Let's see, is this gonna work? Uptime. Oh, if I can spell, maybe. Okay, so we're rolling, but I don't know how long. Okay, so on this screen, we can see that Trivial Pursuit 90s is here. If it worked correctly, what it should do is disable this one and give us all of the question categories instead. So I'm going to try that one more time. And I'm going to try and redeem this one.
Neon Traveler thought it was wise to use one clues on first here. Neon Traveler.
Well, you really were. Okay, so let's... I actually saw that come up for a change. Okay, let's redeem this one.
Dylan_Russell just redeemed Trivial Pursuit 90s for 49 clues.
Okay, so if things worked correctly, then when we pop up the screen below, it should have disabled that one and given us all the categories. But it's not. So something is screwball with the bot today. Let's see, platforms. The Pursuit 90s. Pointing at the correct one. And the actions. Set enabled state. The question should be disabled. Huh. Okay, the only thing I did different from the old one, I took out the target info one. I have no idea why why it thinks it should be there. Okay, so what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go like this. Tool. Finally connected again? Ooh, ugly. So I'm going to force run that same one. 90s. Hopefully it won't actually say the same thing because I'm not actually redeeming it. So if I run that action and then I can look at... I go to my action queues. I have my tool up running. Action history. And it's not a pending action. It's just not doing anything. Oh, ha ha ha. You guys can probably see what I can see. You see this column in the center that says enabled and we have a gazillion no's? That would be the problem. Right there. So if I enable the group, it might actually do what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to turn off the trivia one specifically though, or the Harry Potter one, because I don't want that to run. Let's try this again. Okay, so if I go to action queue so you guys can see what's going on. Pending actions. And then I run the trivia one.
Inconceivable!
There we go. And under action history, 90s trivia pops up. I drag this out of the way. Then when we pop up here, all the categories come up, but the question is gone. So that's what we want. The 90s one is up. So then what I'm going to do from there, let's pick, I like oops, so I'm just going to pick the pink one. The one additional point. And we'll redeem that.
Dylan_Russell just redeemed category, pink, oops for 1 clues.
So pink oops for 1 clues. And the question would be, let's grab one here. Okay, we're from the year 1998. The oops question would be, what kind of bird opened a 1-inch gash on Fabio's nose during the inaugural run on Busch Gardens, Williamsburg's new roller coaster? I do remember that. That was pretty weird. So Fabio, the man of the lovely long locks, was riding a roller coaster. Like he was actually going to help sort of open it. and he had a bird collision. And he ran into, flip it over. Neon can't spell, but yes, you're right, a goose. The biggest jerk on the planet. And it ripped a big gash in his nose. Exactly. So that's how that works. Now, 90s, not everybody's going to know the 90s, or not everybody likes the 90s. So now that we know that Delenn makes mistakes and is that way, I'm going to do it twice more. Now it sounds crazy. Oh, okay. I'm not going to do the alternate game rules, but there is if I was actually to play the game, there's an alternate gameplay rules where you can separate the cards by 1 year increments and then place them in a bunch of card holders. And then it says we've got 2 dice, a 10-sided dice and a 6-sided dice. The 6 is what you normally would use, but then if you rolled the 10 as well, the number on the 10-sided die would determine what year the question was asked from. For example, if we rolled a 4 on the 10-sided dice, the question would be from 1994. And then the play proceeds as in the standard rules, which I could enable that one in here because I've got a button easily. Where did I put it, though? There it is.
Bravery is by far the kindest word for stupidity, don't you think?
No, that's the same place on a different screen. That one. So if I do exclamation point dice roll, it rolls a 10-sided dice and gets me 8. So in that case, we'd get a question from 1998 specifically. So I mean that's a level that we can introduce if we wanted, but we don't need to. It's easy enough. All right. So that's the 90s set. Reason I say twice more. 1, 2. I can put everything away. I just have to get it off my desk. Other one, if I go to Trivial Pursuit Disney Family Edition, there's 2 sets of cards available for the adult cards or the kids cards. And so the only real difference in how people will redeem those... There. Yes. The only real difference in how these get redeemed is just that there will be an input required when somebody redeems it to say whether you want the kids question or the supposedly adults questions. Basically, are you young or do you feel incredibly old? Is really what it boils down to. This set actually comes with one of these funky little old cards that they used to have that says, depending on what edition you've got, here's the categories for each of the colors. It doesn't have further descriptions on each of these category colors, like it did for the other one. But it's kind of funny, though, because we're all in an age range now where questions to be answered by the kids are actually today's adults. So, I mean, the longer you own this game, the weirder it gets. I say weirder, but the more likely that the kids' questions are where it's at. All right, so we'll do this a little quicker. We'll rocket through it. Oops. And I'm just going to minimize that one out of the way. Actions. Okay, so we're back again. And I'm going to start with the colors because that's the part that was the biggest pain in the backside to do. So, blue, dupe. Let's edit this one. And the category here is World of Places. Oh, world. I can't even spell. Places. And then that one. Let's dupe this. Duplicate. And this one, we need to edit this one, which is easy enough. So we have, what do they call this one? Walt Disney Family Edition. So we've got Disney Family. Let's call it Disney Family Edition. Trivia. I probably should call it Trivia : Disney Family Edition. That's probably my smarter way of doing this. There, let's do it that way. I'll have to rename the other one later. Let's go this way. Edit. Trivial Pursuit 90s. The renames will carry across, but the delete and recreation does not. Okay. Edit this one. Okay, so then the Family Edition one, we'll need to fix all this jazz, but we can get to that later. At least now that we're on the World of Places, I can change this one to point to the... Where did the Disney one go? That's really odd. World of Harry Potter. Oh, right, that's the... Okay. Platforms. Redeems. I have to duplicate this one. Edit. Disney Family Edition. Yep, I knew I didn't spell that right. Fat finger and all. Blah, blah, blah. And then this one will point to that one, which we haven't fixed yet, but that's okay. Alright. And this is not enabled yet, because it's not ready to go. I'm going to turn this one back on. Use at your own risk. Okay, actions. So we're back. Family Edition we got to fix, but we're at World of Places and we can point that. That's not good. That doesn't... Okay. So I have made a big boo-boo here. So let's take the commands, platforms. We're going to take this all offline for the moment. Group. Disable all. Hello. Thank you. What I have done by mistake was I said to... I think what is it here? Oh no, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So what I want to do in the platforms, I actually want to change these question ones. So group rename. Now we're going to call it Trivial Pursuit Answers. Okay, and then I'm going to have another one. Group. Oh, edit to create the group. Trivial Pursuit Questions. There, that'll work a little better. And then I can move this one to the questions, and this one to the questions. Now when the actions run, if I do this correctly, this isn't going to work because it's pointing at the wrong one. It'll be... Substitute answers will be disabled. I will delete that question, for example, and then I have to duplicate the existing one, but the group enabled state, edit, do the questions, enabled. Okay, that's that part. Fix the 90s one. Paste. Nope, I don't need that one. Move. I thought I had the other one still copied. Copy. Paste. I should be able to do this now. Enabled state. Questions will be sub action. Disabled. So just to avoid confusion, but we're going to do it with this. Remove. There we go. Okay. So what I did on the 90s question one, when that action runs, everything that was in the questions category gets temporarily disabled. Then only the options available get enabled is the ones for the question just redeemed. And then the reverse, when you answer a question, this is the wrong one, but it gets the point across, then it disables all of the answers and re-enables all 3 of the questions. And that would make life a lot easier. Question. Okay, and I have to fix all of these because the message is wrong. Edit. I have to read a blue. A blue. Not here. Harry Potter. 90s. Trivial Pursuit question. Okay. It doesn't really matter. Yes, and then put the questions back. Duplicate group enabled state. Fix top ones. And answers gets turned off after redeems. And the questions get turned on. Answers and questions. All right. So that should be, I think that makes sense. All right, and then HP. So pursuit answers, disabled, questions enabled, and that one still makes sense. Okay, world of places. So this one, change the message. Edit this one. Want a blue. Walt Disney Family Edition. There's a lot of poking at this format. Okay, let's see. All of the answers we need disabled. Duplicate the specific one. Duplicate the group one. Edit. Turn the questions on. Here we go again. Viewing was 90. '90s. This shouldn't be purple, it should be brown. Brown? Brown. So this is what I spend hours and hours doing. So I'm not going to do more than one stream of this silliness, but we're definitely going to try and see what we can get going. The brown question, group, answers. Okay, and then questions. Oops, not this one. I'd love it if the group up there was a pull down, but it's not. Okay, what else we got? This one back again. Green. This changed answers. Bit of repeat. Good morning, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. How are you? Today we are poking around at converting and copying the Trivial Pursuit redeem that I used to have over to being other formats of Trivial Pursuit, and it allows me to enable them and disable them as we go. There's a little bit of foofara back and forth. Neon seems to be sticking it out, which I completely appreciate. Okay. Finally back at home. Awesome. Okay, green. Green HP, so we should be good there. Green other one. Important is 90s, right? I think it was. 90s. Okay. So we're gonna get through this. Not exactly the world's most exciting, but it needs to be done. Delete the single action, duplicate the group one, and then edit that. So we're getting there slowly. Orange HP. I should probably have been doing the family one as I got there. But the family one is, the categories are the same, but the question is different. Where am I here? Orange HP. Okay, so that one's fine. Edit. Delete. Dupe. There's a lot of these I wish there was a keyboard command for, but there isn't, unfortunately. Now, while many people have said that the streamer bot can be very complicated, I guess, it lets me do a lot of this stuff that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise. Not that we can't do it through other bots. We probably can. But this just seems to fit well with where my brain thinks. One of the powerful things that you don't see here, we have a lot of actions. I can add, there's all sorts of different things I can do. I can get things to happen in Twitch. I can have things happen in OBS. I can do a bunch of stuff. A little bit with Discord. Not a whole lot. You can do things with sounds and timers and so on. There's a whole bunch of actions you can create in there. But there is also, for those that are programmers, there's also the scope for doing C# code in here. And C# code is not one of my friends. I do have some stuff in here that has C# coding in it, and I understand how it works, but I could not have written it from scratch. So I can go in and poke at it and make changes to it if I need to readjust little tiny pieces of it. But yeah, the whole from scratch part is not happening. Okay, so trends. What do I have? Trends, 90s, enable disable. Okay, that's fine. So pink. That's fine there. I need to change this. So what I've done that's causing me to do a lot of these is that I've split up in my redeems section. I've split up the groups to be a questions group and an answers group. And what that does for me is that I can turn groups of them on and off. That I shut down one group and fire up the next. HP, okay, good. So let's go to the oops one, which is the 90s again. Oh, no, not that. Let's get rid of this and say, no, I'm not going to need it. Yes. Let's dupe that one. And then edit the version that's there. So the Fantastic Fox that just joined, summary on what I'm up to. As I said, I am converting it over to work for more than one. But the other thing I'm doing is every time a question redeem gets pulled, then it shuts down all of the other Trivial Pursuit questions and only enables the answers for the question type I'm currently working on. Oops. Yeah, 90s. That's Potter as well. Yeah, that's fine. Remove this. Dupe. Edit. And this one. Edit. I thought I had it set up. It looked great, and it seemed to briefly work, and then I didn't realize the side effect of what I had set up. It was kind of complex and messy. Yellow was Harry Potter, that's fine. Let's get rid of this. So the one I'm deleting here is the specific pointing to one particular question. but if I make it refer to more than one, then it works better. That way I can have as many sets as I like, and I only have to fix or recreate the answers section repeatedly. Disabled, enabled, okay. Almost there. Sort of. For this one anyways. Edit. So it wasn't that one. Wired is a 90s question. And then this, delete, yes. Dupe. Edit. And this one has to be enabled. And that one has to be edited to be answers. Okay, so we should be through the ones that were already there. This one, that one should be fine because it's only turning on the ones we want. It shuts off the question and turns on the answers we want. This is the duplicate, so that's wrong. We need to edit a lot of that. Okay, the Harry Potter one. That should be just fine. 90s one. This is what I want to get rid of. Delete this. Yes. Do I still have it? Can I paste? No. Okay, let's go back into one of these. Copy this. That sub-action. Back in Harry Potter, we're going to paste that sub-action and move it up here. So we're going to shut off all the questions, disabled, and enable just the Harry Potter answers. In the 90s, do I have that same sort of thing? Questions and just the answers. Okay, those two are fine. This one we need to fix. Paste this one. Get rid of that one. Okay, so the questions, we have to change them to disabled. And then the word set enable state will be just the Disney Family Edition answers, which they're not built yet. This is the world of. Okay, so the world of question. We got that one. All right, do we have, let's just go with the next one. So let's go pink. Dupe. Edit. And this one, I was going to call him Disney. No, I didn't. I was going to call it whatever it was. World of Music. Okay, so then this one has to change the question. The comment would read a Walt Disney Family Edition Trivial Pursuit question. Oh, right, I know what I did in here.
Hello?
Hello, Benson. Welcome aboard. Today you're seeing some more poking around. I'm tweaking the redeems on the stream to add a few more versions of Trivial Pursuit to the pile. It allows me to shut down ones I'm not in a good mood for that day and enable ones that work or that I like. In any case, okay, so we've got the Family Edition one needs input, whereas the other ones do not. So I can actually get rid of this. Delete that action. Harry Potter one does not, so I can get rid of this. Delete that action. And the reason the family one needs input is I need someone to be able to choose if they want a kid question or an adult question. So, Benson, I hope you had a good weekend. I haven't had the opportunity to touch base with you. We had a very, very busy weekend. So on Saturday, we had a scout event celebrating Founders Week or the Baden Powell's birthdays. And then on Sunday, we had some soccer. Not soccer, sorry. Wow. Cross-country skiing for the scouts. I am achy as all get out. I think we had World of Music. We're getting super distracted. I just want to push through this one. Okay, yellow. We'll dupe this one. Edit it. World of people. Edit. And we have we get into doing them on the actual redeem side and fixing those ones. I'll go through some of the examples of types of questions you're going to be able to see on that particular game. Okay, so world of people, questions, answers, we're good. Okay, yellow, brown, duplicate, dupe, edit. This one is, I'm assuming world of fantasy. Ooh, I like that one. So in this one, I think I'm going to like the brown category. The oopses were fun in the 90s. This one would be fun in the Disney one, I think. Assuming I can spell correctly. We got brown, green, duplicate, edit. World of science. It's not one I would have expected at Disney, to be honest with you. Okay. Walt Disney Family Edition. Edition. And then orange. Dupe. Edit. This should be the last one, I think. World of leisure. I'm curious. I haven't done any of those in forever. Okay. Edit sub-action. Walt Disney Family Edition. Oops. I mean, there's plenty of other reasons to like or dislike other people too. Like, I mean, the 90s just happened. It is what it is. Whereas both Disney as a company and as an individual was sketchy in its own way. So, you know, for better or worse. Okay, can I? Oh, don't want to do that. Okay, so let's see. This one I'm going to have to fix. But I have to fix the rewards first. Platforms, rewards. So we've got 2 sets in here. Should be all pointing. Did I actually change that one? No, I didn't change those yet. I'll have to change that later. That's fine. Viewing animals. Important. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. We're going to dupe this one again. Edit. We need to go through the titles again, unfortunately. World of places. I'm just going to save that for a second and see what I called it, the original one. Edit. Hogwarts. Okay, so I'm just going to just change this and just call it the same thing. 90s one will have the most annoying descriptions, but that's okay. Let's see. Select. Okay. And then we've got pink. Dupe. Edit. And pink was World of Music. And then this one points at World of Music. Surprise! Okay, what else we got? Yellow. I'm just going down the list in the order it is on my card. It makes it a little easier for me to think about. Duplicate. World of people. World of consistency. Nice. All right. Brown. Duplicate. Edit. World of Fantasy. Ready, and then so we got green. Dupe. What? Dupe. Okay, we'll dupe this one then. That's interesting. Save. Why can you not duplicate reward? Let's try an orange one then. Dupe. So you're freaking out and you can't dupe anymore. Okay. When that happens, let's just quit the bot. And we will do our best to come back into it. Hopefully it will actually let me. Wanted. Loading slowly on the wrong screen, but that's okay, we can move it. See? There we go. Okay, we're back. Stop. Just be on the screen, don't be a twit. Let's go back to platforms, rewards. And we had problems with green, so let's try this. Duplicating the green. Oh! Interesting. The two groups are working, but it doesn't want me to have any more than that. How to get around that? They let me have it in the actions, like a gazillion actions. I can do whatever I want. But it's not letting me have points or more things. If I was to add one, fine, let's just build one from scratch then. Whatever you're doing. Category. Green. World of Science. We'll just deal with whatever color we've got now. We can always fix that later. Group. Group to answers. Selection will be Science. Select. I don't know why it was being dumb. Okay. Go with it. Unable to create reward. Check log file for more information. Lovely. Okay. So I'm just going to fire up the log and see what we've got. Because I don't know why it's being a pill. Streaming stuff. Stream bot. Logs. I will show you guys in just one shake as soon as I can get this puppy open. Okay. Open in this one. And of course it picks a different screen. Fantastic. I don't need Explorer, thanks. Open the log, please. We have a lot of blah blah blah, which we have to find the scroll piece and pull ourselves way down to the bottom. Now, this is not super exciting. Try building it, open connection. Why is it complaining? Oh, create custom reward, too many rewards. Okay. So Twitch says, no way, no how. So I've discovered that there's a wall at Twitch's side in terms of how many rewards, which I can kind of understand. I mean, in theory, if we had all of these enabled at all the same time, it would be a problem. But that's a challenge for us. So I can back these down to just being a color. But then I have to change up all the actions. I can do that. I need to think through how I want to do it as opposed to bungling my way through the whole thing. So what I think I'm going to do for a little while, we do need a ton of wood for our further builds. I've also discovered that in Minecraft, the houses I was building should have actually been built out of vertical logs. The idea being that then they can sink them a little bit into the ground and things don't fall over. Just based on the real world references I'm making. So in the background here, I'm firing up the Dadcraft server and going to just do some tree chopping for the last little bit. I think it's probably our smartest move. But I'm going to have to change these back down in the channel point rewards just to be the categories, which is fine. I mean, that we can deal with that. That's okay. Yeah, progress all around. A little disappointed, but this evening's stream will not be a lot of this pokey stuff. I might show you what solution I came up with or how I worked it around, but we'll get it fixed at that point. So for now, we're going to leave it all disabled just so that people don't try and redeem broken stuff. A little disappointing because I kind of wish the bot had it so that if you create rewards and they're set as not enabled, that Twitch doesn't even know about them until you enable them. But there's probably some reason in the background in the way the API is designed that doesn't actually work. Okay, so let's shut down this one and open up this multiplayer. Open up this one. Games. What are you going to show for me, please? Here we go. So I was doing some AFK at my iron farm. That's where you guys see me hanging out. Got a little bit of food. Oh, I'm getting my echoes. Okay. And we've got some lag, but that's okay. Options now. There we go. I've got single sounds now. It's all coming through the OBS. So if you guys are hearing anything really weird, do let me know. So, yeah. Where we're coming from on this one. How'd this turn out, by the way? Ugh, not as productive as I would have liked. Oh well. It is what it is. Okay. So, I'm just going to stand here for a split second, rather than using my camera. It's all rainy and everything. Is on the references turned on? Yes. No, not that one. Wrong one. References. I want this model. Sorry guys, I forgot that I wasn't on studio mode. Okay, so on this model, we can't see it all that well, but when you zoom in, it looks like even on the sides of the buildings, this one over here. There, and we're just gonna make it a little bit bigger, just temporarily. It's really hard to see on the screen, but you'll see it above my head a bit. Particularly in the circular building. Right above the today's question of the day. You can kind of see that the logs there are vertical. So, I'm just going to turn that one off. This is the one we... Oh, not that one. This is the one we're normally referring to. I'm going to shut it off in the main screen. Live. Ah, there we go. So you can see that I started a new building as well that we were working on, because we had a whole bunch of them in the yard. And that one I'm going vertical on the logs, just didn't get very far. So we can go flipping those around, or we can do some tree chopping. I really have no preference. We're going to need both anyways. I think probably best just to start with some tree chopping. Just to get it out of the road. Now, while these buildings are being done as wood, we're going to mix up our time periods. Because really, the castle should have been all like stone and whatever by now. But by now being like the period I'm looking at, so in the town, it should start being more stone inside, and then the town walls would be made out of stone and so on. We're actually going to be mixing periods. I know it's sort of one of those no-nos if you're trying to be semi-historically accurate, but just about everybody and their dog does stone castles. You know, people say, oh, I'm building a medieval castle. Even if it's laid out somewhat accurately for reality, they all do the stereotype square stone things. And so I just wanted to do something a little different, but that means that the rest of the period is all messed up. You know, it happens, right? It allows me to practice a little bit on unexciting different building styles and the whys and wherefores. So yeah, that's what we're at. I'm still, part of my brain is still slightly distracted on figuring out how I want to redo those actions. They're still going to be the same in terms of enable all the answers, disable all the questions. But I need to figure out how to rewrite the actions in such a way that when I point, or that they're generic enough so that when I point the redeem part at the answer actions, they're going to be relevant, because the redeems unfortunately have to point at one specific action, which unfortunately the if-then doesn't necessarily work. Although there might be a way for me to play with that. I'm not fully sure. We'll see about that. So if X, then Y, which could work. Then I have to build an action that says, okay, if this question was redeemed, then point at this answer action. If this question was redeemed, point at this other answer action. But then I have to build 6 of them, one for each color. So, yeah. It gets complex, and until I've actually run that through, it's going to take a few hours to figure out and test and forward and back and so on. I'll show you when it's done, but I probably won't muck with it. And for curiosity's sake, even though the catalyst of making this happen was a conversation I had last week about not being somebody not a fan of what J.K. Rowling has said publicly and what she supports and doesn't support and so on, I was actually trying to figure out what, over time, how to bring in some more of the Trivial Pursuit stuff, particularly the Disney stuff, because I think the Disney stuff might be kind of fun. Not everybody's into Harry Potter, but far more, or at least aware of a lot of Disney stuff a la pop culture. I mean, I could have it just simply bring up, here's what your colors are, like these are the colors, but then people don't really get to necessarily choose what the category is, per se. So, like, for example, if you really like science and we're not into music, then that could be problematic. Yeah, this isn't going to work if I'm... Yeah. Forgot that this hoe has Silk Touch on it. I just have to let that be. So while these are popping up, we're going to need a lot of oak for the stairs for the roofs, and a lot of birch for the walls of the little in-yard buildings. Then, so while these are growing, I'm going to try and take what I did get of the leaves, pardon me, and go and throw them in the composter, and then get back to flipping some of the walls of the building flat. And then get back to flipping some of the walls vertical. We'll start with the 2 yard buildings that are not the great big one, because I don't want to mess with the villagers all that much. And these are never going to despawn, because I missed a spot. You despawning. Yes. Okay, good. Good. That's just no. Alright. So hey, there's always a plan Q. I mean, if we need to, it's double A. Or whatever. Huh, the lag is strong today. Oh, lovely. Oops. If I'm doing composting, I might as well get rose or flowers out of this one. But at least the farm is still functional. It says there's a lot on right now. Oh. I'm not gonna put a slash in front of that. Which. There we go. Alright, so if there's any further conversation, it should hopefully pop up over there as well. Good news, I've got some bone meal so we can get back onto the bridge. Oh, exactly. Yeah, nice to have plenty of people on the server. It means folks are having fun. Exactly. I got squashed. Can't get to the center ones. Oops. Without more chopping. So might as well do the outside one. I could probably reach in closer. Like if you dump enough bone meal at it, it gets the job done even if you can't quite get through. Come on. Oh, I can see what I'm doing. Let's dump all that we've got out. We'll have more. Sherlock Fox is dang guy today. That will not. Oh, it is enough. Okay. We can always rinse and repeat. All right. It's been a busy day for Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Not only has he been working, technically you would say working from home, but my son had an educational assessment for giftedness that he had to go and do, and so Fantastic Sherlock Fox has been driving him around, which I think works well because two of them have similar personalities. So sometimes when mom asks questions, just hey, how'd it go? I'll get a almost teenager style when he's not quite yet a teenager, whereas Fantastic Sherlock Fox might actually get an answer out of it. He knows how to ask in such a way that my son will respond, or he can read the room a little better and know when not to ask questions. Yeah, I'm wandering around in the snow listening on conference calls. You actually do that for the entire 2 hours? Rough. One of the things that I'm sure Fantastic Sherlock Fox is probably known for, if not yet at this job, at least at his previous one, was taking walking calls. If he didn't need to be at his computer, he likes to stretch. He's one of those guys that moves around a lot. It's funny because the junior version of that would drive me insane, except for the fact that when necessary, Fantastic Sherlock Fox and my son are both very good at standing still. But when they need to move, they need to move. So as a kid, people like that sometimes drive me a little bit nuts because they're not always making the best decisions on when to wiggle. As an adult, that's fine, but it's kind of funny. We'll see how it goes by the end of the day. So my son missed a little bit of his school this morning for school, in a way, I guess. I mean, educational assessment is all about the school thing, but also he probably had to do, you know, questions and stuff like he had to do with school. And then he went back to get dropped off the class, the rest of it. Snow is a 4-letter word, yeah. I can imagine why it would be. For curiosity's sake, Neon, is your travel home winterized? So as in, like, if you ended up in a snow zone, do you guys get really cold, or is it winterized in the insulation from underneath just to make sure nothing gets extra leaky? I hadn't paid attention as to whether or not we got extra snow last night. There was supposedly some coming down as we came back from skiing, but it didn't on Sunday. But it didn't seem too bad yesterday when I went out for the younger scout section. Don't have any birches. That's not good. Thank you. Not for winter weather? Ah, okay. Good reason to stay down south. And there are some here that are actually, they call them winterized. I mean, not necessarily winterized as in prepared for storage sort of winter, but there's some that are actually insulated underneath, so that in theory, you could go travel trailering all year round. I don't know anybody who actually does that up here. I mean, I've yet to meet someone who describes themselves as, say, a ski bum or something, who actually putzes around in a travel trailer. There are a few that I've met over the years that have actually done so from a van, as in, like, they live in one of the RV-style vans, but I haven't yet met the ones that do it from a travel trailer. Ooh, another 1.5 inches, yeah. Just enough to make things slick when you're trying to walk. Or to encourage the neighbors to put down pet unfriendly ice melter. We don't have a dog anymore, but I still feel bad for those that do, because they're poor pets. Unfortunately, get stuck with the neighbors who use very caustic ice melter. This isn't working to do this by hand. That's kind of a silly thing, but I've got plenty of birch and oak to get me going. So let's just put down a couple more trees. 3, and go do some building over here. So as you can see from inside there, the villagers still love to have their wonderful conversations with each other and have golems popping in and out all over the place. Like, I'm surprised we don't have one kicking around in here right now. Honestly thought we would. Somehow I seem to have gotten the magic combination where he won't spawn on this level. And then this level is just too tight. Like, it's 1/2 down, so you shouldn't be able to spawn anyways. But there's a possibility, theoretically, they might be able to spawn on the beds. I've never really checked into that. But we don't seem to get golems up here anyway. They just love to spawn in all the new places. Right, so I'm just going to copy this one, but do it vertically. And actually, no, I don't want to. I'm going to try something. So where I'm going with it, actually, I'll show you one more time on the references, but it's not necessarily going to be all that clear or helpful, I think. Model 2. Yeah. Okay, so I'll bring up Model 2 for just a second. There we go. 5. Okay. So what I'm going for here is, if you take a look at some of the buildings, I know we've got towers and stuff to build, but but they all the buildings that have vertical logs have these sort of like bands around the middle holding them up, which is where I had in this world. Don't worry, we'll get out of there. Where I'd gone in here with the oak bands around the buildings. But of course, I also made it horizontal instead of vertical. Right? But the reason for that is that I just really didn't want the whole log sticking out. I mean, on the keep, that's fine. On the towers, that would be fine. On the buildings, I just thought that might look really ridiculous. The result effect would basically be, in essence, having all the buildings having a whole extra band like that. I mean, when it's a yard, or a meter, it just looks, that looks dumb, right? Not to mention it's spawnable, but it just looks dumb. So I was going to go with a vertical concept, then a horizontal band, and then more verticals to simulate that same look. Oops, turn this off, sorry. So in Minecraft, just having the horizontal band would look dumb. This whole extra layer sticking out. This looks really kind of dumb. So I thought about going vertical with the horizontal band built in the middle. And I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. Or, pardon me. Or if I would rather, if I'd rather try and make some level of the 3D element of it with trapdoors. But the problem with doing it with trapdoors is that the oak ones have holes in them. That might be our best bet though. Or else I could go spruce doors, and then they all look like, then they all look like barrel bands or something. Get a couple of oak ones and see what we think. I'll use oak trapdoors for something else later. Alright. I know it would be better on the vertical. But I don't have the whole bend, full horizontal done on that one, actually. Let's do one. A ton of birch. I wasn't intending to run long. I realized I just did. So let's just do a quick test here, see what we've got going, and then we'll leave it. That'll work for now. It gets us a surface we can use. Okay, so we can... Oops, I guess these would have to be birch. That's just not going to work. If we're looking for the crossbands, I can go with this format, which looks kind of odd from a distance. I mean, it gets you sort of more of that 3D effect. Or I've got do it this way. Maybe given that I'm going with the oak roof, the spruce might work better. I'm not a huge fan of either one of them, but I don't want to go any darker. You can see from the back, birch trapdoors just don't really have that banded look. The white sort of almost Japanese type papery look in the center just really blows that that impression completely out of the water. I'm not really sure what I think of that. I may even have to sit on it for a while. Pull that one out. I mean, I could even do a version of both, like that. Move this inside one. Not really sure what I like best. What do you guys like best? The plain band, the spruce trapdoor band, oak on oak, oak on birch, or just hit heck with it all together, like just go with the plain wood band. I'm not sure which one of those I like better. So yeah, I guess I have more to ponder. Well, we'll have a decision made on this part, and we'll probably need to work on that part of it this evening. So a little bit more of the choppy chop and the building swap after it. Now, informationally, although... Wrong direction. Yeah. This is, if that worked. Oh, yeah, there we go. So although the next stream says 5 p.m., which is mountain time, and Java Minecraft style to be determined, that's what we're planning on working on. Although it says that, I do want to get the thing from this morning fixed up, the redeems and stuff, and then we will probably be doing the more choppy chop to go with these builds, and then we'll get, once we've got a style going vertical, then we'll put some more buildings around and we'll start getting more jobs for these various people, right? And potentially putting them in their separate little houses. The other piece we want that we can start working on, depending on how far we get, is I can start putting a wall around this interior dry moat and working on the tower for that. So we got a few things that we can work on. I will be here this evening. We'll be here tomorrow morning. Or, well, tomorrow noon-ish Eastern. But not tomorrow evening, and possibly not Thursday morning, just because we have another appointment regarding the educational assessment. So thank you to all the folks that joined the chat for sure. Let's just see who we've got this morning. There's a bunch. Ooh. There's a bunch live, so let's take a quick boo. What am I watching? Live streams I follow. It's a pretty busy morning out, to be honest with you. Oh, I see why we've got that. Okay. Just trying to see if there's anybody who's doing anything remotely. Wow. Jade has snow. So we're going to go see Maribel Jade. Yeah. Just come and enjoy the snow. Don't know what she's doing, but we're going to go enjoy her snow. Alright. So that's where I'm headed. I'm just going to start that one up and then say my thank yous to everybody else. See if we can get this to work. No. Okay. Read. Maribel. Alright, yep.
Mischief managed.
Alright. So thank you to those that came in today and saw a little bit of the man behind, or the woman behind the curtain, I guess. Oh, I really didn't refresh that. Okay, well, we'll just clear that up. There, where is the end? And we're going to just blank that. Okay, so thank you to Fantastic Sherlock Fox and to Neon and Zerk that were all in here. I know we had a few lurkers that were hanging out in the background. Want to say thank you all to you for coming by as well. We do have a Discord, so if you guys are looking to spread some thoughts or ideas, or just want to get more information, feel free to pop in there. And in the meantime, say hi to Maribel Jade for me. Feel free to use one of the raid messages there. Copy paste whichever one applies to you. The top is for subs, the bottom is for everybody else, or use whichever emotes that you want to, that you like, you know, that sort of thing. I will be poking at the redeems to get those all fixed up, and then hopefully making a decision on the look of the houses so we can get moving. Otherwise, have yourselves a great day, and bye-bye for now.
Transfer complete.